Okay, everyone, you've got Darren Little here from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada with the MLM Superheroes, and we are live right now on an international broadcast, broadcasting to all four corners of the world. Guys, tonight what I want to do here is a little bit of millionaire mentoring, a little bit of mindset training. I really want for you to understand some of the real basics that you need to be able to know to be able to launch your business. And the interesting thing about this is that launching a business is actually very, very simple, but people make it very, very difficult for themselves. And I want to break it down into real simple terms so that you can really understand the power of what I call leverage, right? So if you're in an arm wrestle and you get to a certain point, you've got leverage to be able to win that particular arm wrestle. This is very, very similar when you launch your business, and I'm going to cover a number of different concepts, a number of different ideas, a number of different strategies, so that you can go, hey, I could do that. Hey, that sounds pretty easy. I can do that, okay? So what I want to do here first is I'm going to just open up the panel for a sec. If everybody here can just say a quick hello, and just tell people where you're from, what do you currently do as far as your full-time income, and you know, where are you? How long have you been with the iPass 2 system, and maybe a couple little highlights as to what's happened for you with the business so far. Are you generating leads? Are you generating income? Trial members? Are you generating 100, 500? Maybe even $3,000 days already within the program. So what I'm going to do here first is I'm going to start with the ladies. So Annalisa, if you can please introduce yourself and just give us a quick snapshot. Annalisa. Okay, let's go over to Helen. Helen, are you there?
Yes.
Okay.
Hi, this is Helen from Coquitlam, BC. So thank you, Darren, for hosting this training every Sunday, most of the Sunday, I believe. So just like, one of my suggestions is keep going.
Okay. So Helen, maybe you can just share with the people, first of all, what exactly is it that you do? What's your full-time business, or what do you do full-time?
Basically, like at this moment, I'm still taking care of the full seller account, the front desk for my husband's business, like it's an auto repair business, like typical based in Burnaby, BC. So year back, the business will run down to negative 200,000 in debt. So basically, I was down there to turn everything around. Based on what Darren have been teaching me, walking through me all these step-by-step procedures. And as I go and I learn so much stuff from Darren that, in order for me to turn the business around. I'm so thankful for that.
Okay, so let me ask you this, Helen, because this is really important for people to really understand that these are transferable skills. Okay, so guys, if you're just watching this for the very first time, what I would really encourage you to do is to have a pen and paper handy, because I'm going to go over a number of different concepts and ideas tonight that will make it really, really simple. Doesn't matter what you're marketing, doesn't matter what kind of business that you do. Helen, as an example, has a business that does automotive repairs, like a mechanic shop. But she's taken the principles that she's learned in Millionaire Mentoring, she's transferred them over into her own business with the mechanic shop that was over $200,000 in debt, totally turned that business around using the strategies that we teach. So Helen, you've been with the iPass program here, I don't know, for maybe a month or so. Have you been in a situation already where you've actually enrolled people on complete autopilot without actually even talking to them?
The typical example is today. I wasn't on the computer. I might on my phone that in the morning, running around errand in the house, doing a little bit of stuff here and there, like take a peek on my phone, stuff like that. Then all of a sudden I see you just refer a member, try best, like and then the $7 and the $47. I even haven't talked to the guy. It surprised me, right? I only said that, like when you set up the system, it run by itself.
Fantastic. Well, that's great. Appreciate your input. Okay, so let's now go over to Stacy. Stacy, are you there? Stacy, you need to unmute. Okay, let's go over to. Okay, Stacy. So, Stacy, maybe you can just share quickly with the viewers where are you from? What do you currently do as far as your full-time income, and how long have you been involved with iPass, or are you involved with iPass?
I'm from an area of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I've been in food and beverage basically my whole life. I'm a server at a really groovy restaurant here in Pittsburgh. And I have been doing iPass for about 2 weeks. I have been busy building my Twitter accounts. I'm trying to follow 1,000 people a day, and then I'm trying to follow up with at least 25. So I've been concentrating on that and my vision board.
Fantastic. So Stacy, let me ask you this, because obviously it sounds like you're sort of in what I would call a state of transition right now, right? You would like to get out of being a server and get into being a full-time entrepreneur. Am I correct?
That is correct.
Okay. So let me ask you this. From what I think from what I can understand, this is your first Millionaire Mentoring session, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So let me ask you this. From being involved just with our private Facebook group and some of the the content that's been coming down the news feed, have you benefited from it in any way? Has it shifted your mindset in any way to get on a path here? Have you received any assistance from the team? Who's been there to support you? What's that been like through the support system that we have?
I probably need to plug in a little more, but I'm working with Chad pretty closely on the side. I love the training that you have there, the videos. I've watched quite a few of them. But I think I need to plug in a little more, personally.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Cool, cool. Okay, let's go over to Tunde. How are you, sir?
Doing well, doing well.
Fantastic. Tunde, maybe you can just share with the viewers, first of all, what line of work are you currently in on a full-time basis? How long have you been involved with our Millionaire Mentoring and training? And what's the most amount of revenue that you've been able to generate so far in a single day?
Currently, I'm an accountant. That's my profession right now.
Okay.
And I joined iPass about 2 months ago. And actually, during my first 3 weeks, I was able to generate a $3,000 sale in my first 3 weeks. And basically been working on making connection on Facebook. Because initially when I first got started, I really didn't know how to approach people, being that this industry is pretty new to me. But learning from your training, getting to know people, learning not to pitch people, getting to know what's going on in other people's life and whether they're at the breaking point or even if they are interested in your company or what's not. So just finding out what's going on in other people's life and making those connections. So that's the phase I'm in right now. It's just building that relationship, and at the same time continue to run my campaign as well.
Awesome, fantastic. Well, that's excellent. Okay, let's go over to Mark. How are you, sir? You're on mute. Mark, you're on mute. Okay, let's go over to Annalisa. Are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Okay. So, Annalisa, what exactly is it that you do right now?
I have a full-time job currently, and basically just in transition with um, iPass. I just started last month and going through trainings and things like that currently.
Okay, fantastic. And let's go over to Mark. Can you please unmute Mark? Mark, you're muted. Okay, Mark's having some technical difficulties. Okay, guys, so what I want to do here today is I want for you to understand really the basics of this type of an industry, okay? So there's two areas that I want for you to focus on right now. One is what I would call your warm market or contacts that you know, and the other is your Facebook audience, your Twitter audience, your online sort of presence, okay? And then the other area is going to be your paid traffic, okay? So three sort of, major areas. Warm market, your influence online just with social media, all these different type of platforms, and then actual paid traffic. Now, what I will tell you is that because most people are not properly trained on how to even approach people, they don't understand what networking even is. They've never done it before, okay? So I will tell you that conventional business, okay, I'm talking about any type of business, whether you've got a law firm as an example. Mark here is a lawyer, okay? So any type of a business, whether they're an accountant firm or they're an automotive dealership or they're a lawyer's office, typically, for the most part, guys, just so you know, those businesses, those land-based businesses, are built through connections and relationships and referrals, okay? Most companies these days, that's how they build their business. So they go to their local chamber of commerce meeting, or they go to a business networking international breakfast meeting, or they go to a luncheon or some sort of a trade show. And the goal of that is that they want to get this, connections, okay? Connections, right, in all those different areas. Now, here's what I will tell you about business. This is what I learned from my millionaire mentor when I started over 25 years ago, is that people typically, human nature, okay, they do business with people that they know, people that they like, and people that they trust, and then they also will do business with people that they're either like or that they aspire to be like, okay? So that's sort of your groundwork, your parameters that you've got to understand as a networker or as a business owner, as an entrepreneur. Okay, so whether you've got a land-based business or an online business, it doesn't matter, okay? What I will tell you is this: business is about relationships. You have to really understand that if you want to be a leader in this type of a business model, you've got to be a leader, okay? That means connecting with people and providing value, okay? So if you want to start having your phone ringing with incoming phone calls, you've got to be making deposits, okay, into the industry. Just, complete carte blanche, surrendering your content into the industry as a leader, right, for everybody. Not just your team, not just a private little group, for everybody, okay? That's what gets your phone ringing with incoming phone calls. So as a basic in general that I want for you to understand is that there's two types of people that I call it the low-hanging fruit, okay? They get into a networking type of a business or an online business or want to become an entrepreneur. The first type of a person is typically what's called a person who is in a state of transition, okay? So they're in between careers, they're underpaid at their job, something is going on in their life, they just got a divorce, they just moved, they got downsized, cut back, laid off, one of the husband or their wife lost their job or got hours cut back. They're in a situation where they're in a transitionary stage, okay? The other type of people are people that are in what are called a breaking point, okay? They're working 2 jobs, 3 jobs, overtime. They're going further and further and further in debt. Their kids are coming up to go to college, right? And they're running out of money. They don't have money, right? They're further and further in debt. Homes going into foreclosure, cars being repoed. They're in what's called a breaking point, okay? So that's called low-hanging fruit. Now, if I have a whole panel right across the bottom and I go around to each person and I say, okay, let me ask you this. Would you categorize yourself in a transition, in a breaking point, or both? Okay? So let's start here at the bottom. Tunde, what would you say, where would you say that you are at right now on your life path? A transitionary stage, a breaking point, or both?
I have to say both right now.
Both. Okay,
Both.
fantastic. Let's go over to Stacy. Stacy, where would you say that you are right now on your life path? Are you in a state of transition?
I am both.
You're both. Okay, so both transition and breaking point. Mark, can you unmute yourself? Okay, Mark's having technical difficulties. Over to Helen. Helen, are you there?
Yeah,
Okay.
I would say both.
Both transition and breaking point. Annalisa, where would you say that you are right now on your life path? Transition, breaking point, or both?
Both, sir.
Both. Okay. Guys, this is really powerful. Do you realize that just knowing this, just understanding that, which nobody's teaching people out there in the marketplace, okay? This information isn't being taught to people, and that's why the failure rate is so high. Do you realize that if you just take the time to connect with people, you don't have to sell them anything, you don't have to pitch them anything, you don't have to convince them of anything, you don't have to get them into a headlock, you don't have to twist their arm behind their back. What I will tell you is this: if you just ask simple questions, okay? So here's what I will tell you. Instead of me going to my warm contacts, I actually go through my warm contacts. Now here's the difference. So if most people get into the industry and they're like, have I got a deal for you? You got to check out my thing. I got this great product and it's got these antioxidants and you've got to try it. I'm telling you, I feel great. I sleep great. You've got to try my product, right? Well, here's what you will get. You will get what's called pushback, right? Nobody's interested. They don't care. That's massive rejection, okay? And that's what most people go through in this type of a business model, just so you know. So you don't want to be one of those people, okay? Now, if I, as a leader, okay, now keep in mind, this is a leadership business model. This is the personal development disguised as a business leadership model, okay? So you've got to take a leadership approach to rolling out an international expansion for a company. You've got to be that person if you want to attract the high-quality people, guys, okay? If you want to attract high-quality people. So here's what I will tell you. In business in general, every time I roll out a company and let's say that I've got to raise $10 million for the company, okay? Before I do that, I put together a structure, right? And that structure typically has a management team, a board of directors, and an advisory board. That's what people are investing in. But I typically have, 6 to 8 key people that's my I call that my inner circle, right? When I'm rolling out a new company, okay? You've got to be that person, and I can tell you this: you only need 6 or 8 key people, guys. Okay? You only need 6 or 8. If you ask any 7-figure income earner, they will tell you they actually only work with a handful of people. Okay? So you don't need thousands. You don't need tens of thousands of people. You need 6 or 8 leaders that you're going to lock arms with and roll out a campaign with. That includes paid traffic. That includes their influence on Facebook, social media, you know, Pinterest, Twitter, all these different social media sites, YouTube, right? Who follows them, right? And then the contacts that they know. People with influence, okay? People that are influential in their community and people that are influential in their church, okay? Typically, those are the people that you want to partner with, okay? So it's all about your posture. It's all about what do you say to people. So if I'm rolling out a company, okay, typically the first thing that I do, okay, it doesn't matter if I've got a new product and I need to, you know, get 2, 3, 4, 5 million, 10 million, 25 million, whatever the situation is, okay, I go through a whole Rolodex and I pick out the most influential people that I know. So let's say that I'm starting and I need to have a CEO of my organization, okay, Chief Executive Officer. I'm typically the marketing guy, okay? So I use a Henry Ford model. I don't try to do things that I'm not good at. So I need to find talent, okay? So now I have to be like a, almost like a corporate recruiter guy, right? So I've got to be that person that needs to go find my talent. Now, how am I going to do that? I'm going to go through my Rolodex. I'm going to pull out all the most influential people that I know. And here's the strategy. Guys, if you get really good at this, I'm telling you what, you will never, ever have to worry about money again for the rest of your life, okay? This is no hype. This is real facts. This is how I became a millionaire, okay? When you learn these type of skills, you will never, ever have to worry about money again, ever. This has got me free hotel rooms, free upgrades on airfare accommodations, free clothes, designer stuff, trips to Club Med. I'm telling you that I've had people give me for free advertising, flyers, posters, you know, stuff where I get free hotel rooms to put the events on, you know, whole appetizer, free appetizers, free specials for my people when I pack a room. They'll give a bonus. All of this has to do with the exact same type of formulas. Okay, so here's how it works. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to reach out, I'm going to touch base, and I'm going to say a quick hello. Now, I got really good at being able to change a person's state the moment that I said their name, okay? And it's a very, very high resonance. So if let's say that I'm calling Tom, right? And I give Tom a call, I'm going to come through at a very high pitch, okay? So here's an example. Most people would go, hello, Tom? Yeah, it's Darren calling, right? That won't put them into the state. So it's ring, 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 ring. He goes, hello? I go, Tom, what's going on? It's a very high resonance. Okay, now, most of the times, guys, I'll tell you what happens. If I can get that person right there to laugh and change their state, I've already accessed the vault, okay? So what I want to do is this. I want to reach out, I want to touch base, and I want to say a quick hello. And I want to find out what's going on in your life and shut up. Step one. Hey, Tom. Hello, Tom. It's Darren. What's going on? Right? Very high resonance. Now I go, he's going to tell me. Right? All I want to do is listen. Right? Step one. Find out what's happening in his life and listen. When the energy starts to come down like this, I'm just going to say, cool, and go completely silent. The energy will now turn around and he'll say, what about you? I don't talk about business. It's very important that you understand business etiquette, okay, in business. They don't teach this stuff, guys, and I'm telling you, if you get good at this, you can write your own ticket to anything. So here's an example. Let's say I'm looking for a CEO. These are high-level people, okay? So I'm going to find out what's happening in his life. I'm going to listen. He's going to say, what about you? I'm going to now tell him 2 cool things that are happening in my life. I might have been to a seminar. I might be reading a cool book. Maybe my son's coming in town for spring break. Then I'm going to say, oh, man, I got to tell you this story. This is hilarious, okay? I'm going to get him to laugh right there. Now, here's what happens. When 2 people are laughing, their bodies will synchronize. Ha, 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 ha. Okay, that's accessing the vault. Now here's what I'm going to say. Hey Tom, just out of curiosity, do you know anybody right now that's either in between careers, that's transition, or underpaid at their job, that's breaking point, right, that might have the qualifications to be a CEO? I'm just rolling out a company right now. I'm looking for a key person to head up that position. Okay, now I'm going to talk money. Typically, you know, first year we're looking at about 175, right, and some stock options, right, if it's a public company, right. Second year, you know, probably about $250,000. Can you think of anybody off the top of your head that might have the qualifications I can get in front of? Okay, now what am I doing, guys? I'm using my warm market to go through those people to get to their contacts. Now here's what happens. If that person is in between careers or underpaid at their job and they themselves have the qualifications to be a CEO, I don't have to ask them. They're going to say to me, what's it about? What's the company? I might be interested, right? What are the qualifications that you're really truly looking for? So by me not pitching them, I'm going through them to find out who do they know. Now guys, here's what I will tell you. These strategies I use every single time I'm rolling out a company. Okay? Every single time. Right? It doesn't matter if I'm raising $1 million, $5 million, $10 million, $25 million. I go through all my most influential contacts to find out who do they know. Right? I fill those management positions, right? The CEO, CFO, Chief Operations Officer. Then I go onto the advisory board, the board of directors, and now I got a team, and I leverage that team now, and I can go get money. Okay? That's how it works for launching a business, raising capital, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So people invest in vision, and people invest in a team. So you've got to be that person. Right? When you first roll out a company, you have to be that leader. You have to be that power. You've got to be that post, right? Because it's going to be your vision, and you have to be strong enough in your power, right, to be that one that's going to have the attractor factor that's going to get those 6 to 8 people, okay? So when I'm rolling out a networking company for, you know, I'm talking warm market here, guys. These are, you know, I might know, let's say, a lawyer or an accountant. These aren't people that I would, you know, be classify as my buddy friends. You know, guys that I go out for beers with. I'm talking about people that I met at a Chamber of Commerce event, or people that I know through, you know, a trade show, or realtors, top realtors, mortgage brokers, insurance agents. People that are influential. Okay, influential people. And you can tell by somebody's business card whether they're not a person that has influence. So here's me rolling out a networking company, going through influential people, okay? So once again, I want to change their state, reach out, touch base, say quick hello, listen, update, 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 and I'm going to go, cool. They're going to say, what about you? Highlight, highlight. Oh, I got to tell you this story. This is hilarious. Get them to laugh. Now, hey, Tom, just out of curiosity, do you know anybody right now that's either in between careers or underpaid at their job, right? I'm just currently rolling out a company. I'm looking for a couple of key people to head up the international expansion. You know, typically first year. Now, guys, I want to tell you this. Depending on what's called the demographic, right, the range of their level of income, right? So if I'm talking to somebody that's making, say, 80 grand, right? I'm not going to say, well, typically first year they're looking at about 80,000, because why would he be interested? He's not going to be interested, right? So typically first year, you know, they're looking at 150, you know, to 200. Second year, about $500,000, right? Those are numbers that's going to somebody who's at 80, 100, 125, 130. That's going to get their interest, right? In the event that it's somebody that is, say, making 40 or 50,000, I'm going to say, you know, typically first year they're looking at, you know, 100 to 130,000. You know, second year as high as about $250,000. Can you think of anybody off the top of your head that might have the qualifications that I can get in front of? Okay, that's networking. Okay, now here's what I will tell you in networking. It has nothing to do with my company. It has nothing to do with my products. It has everything to do with who do you know. That's it. Who do you know? 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 And who did they know? So here's an example. I was working on a project, and I had to do a $25 million raise for the rollout, okay? So what am I going to do? I made a list of my most influential contacts. I reach out to some people, and I say, you know, break the ice, back and forth, that whole thing. Hey, Alex, just out of curiosity, do you know anybody right now that you can think of off the top of your head that is into, you know, institutional funding, you know, a broker or that does financing of $25 million and higher? Do you know anybody like that off the top of your head? Actually, Darren, I do. That's really what happens, guys, in real business. Trust me when I tell you, that's how I roll out companies. That's how I raise money. That's how I do joint venture deals. That's how I do sponsorship deals. It's all the same. The question is, are you, as a leader, stepped into your personal power and so laser focused that nothing and nobody is going to stop you? Because that's where you have to be, guys, if you want to be a seven-figure income earner. You have to be bulletproof yourself. Okay, you got to be bulletproof here, right, in your thoughts. You got to be bulletproof in your words, and you got to be bulletproof in your emotions that are going out. You have to be bulletproof. So here's what I will tell people. Once you start to have some type of success in a program like what we have, first of all, guys, just so you know, if you're just watching this on YouTube for the very first time, I came from the business of originally network marketing, right, where they teach three-way phone calls and hotel meetings and home parties, and it literally ruined my life. I'm totally honest with you guys. If you are a leader and you're a person that can close people, okay, everybody wants you. Everybody wants you to close their people. Everybody wants you to talk to their people. Everybody wants you on a three-way phone call. So the better that you get in that model, the worse your life gets. Because at 7 a.m. my phone would start ringing, and it wouldn't stop ringing until 2, sometimes 3 o'clock a.m. the following day with that type of business model. So what I was looking for was I was looking to create leverage. I wanted to be able to create automated income that would be able to work for me while I was working on other projects, right? While I was launching a new land-based company, or while I was hiring management team for another project, I could have an online income stream that was coming in, you know, as I was sleeping, right? That was my target. That was my goal. So the first area that you've got to that I want you to understand is, the question is this: are you really utilizing your most influential contacts? Because keep in mind, guys, in business, doesn't matter what kind of business that we're talking about, land-based, law firm, accounting firm, if you have 6 to 8 marketers, right, 6 to 8 marketers that you're working with, you can actually become a millionaire, just so you know. You only need 6 to 8 top marketers that are committed to doing a campaign, right, committed to doing some traffic, committed to getting the message out onto their social media, talking about the results that they're generating, right, the results that they're generating, right, and they're committed to rolling that out. That's it, right? It's an awareness campaign. And if you on your personal team have 6 to 8 people that are prepared to do that, that are committed to personal development and leadership, you can become a millionaire. Okay, that's really how simple as it is. Okay, so you've got to understand that it really is that easy, guys. Okay, it really is this easy. There's no hype here. I can tell you 100%. And if you apply the strategies that I teach, you can go from a flat start to a $10,000 income between 30 and 90 days. Now, is it going to be work? Absolutely. Would you be able to go into your job and make a $10,000 income and not work? No, you wouldn't. right? And if you went into work and you didn't do anything except push pencils and papers around, guess what? You're fired. They let you go, right? That's the truth. So you've got to start to look at your business like a real company, like a real business. And you've got to ask yourself this question every single day. Would you hire you? You know, if you're paying payroll, would you hire you as an employee? Because if you're not performing and you're not getting the job done, guess what happens in corporate, guys? I'll tell you what happens. You get eliminated, right? You get fired, and they get somebody else that's going to do the job. So you've got to ask yourself this. Are you currently stepping into a leadership role in your business? It's a yes or a no, right? Do you, as an example, have a free conference line? Because wouldn't a leader have a free conference number if they're going to talk to their executives, and those executives are all around the country? Think about it. They would have a free conference line that everybody could call into. Have you done a Google Hangout like this, whether there's people on the Hangout or not? Listen to what I'm saying, guys. Whether there's people on the panel or not, you have to step into your power and be the leader. It doesn't matter, because keep in mind, there's going to be people watching this later, right? So it's going to clone you. Once you learn the power of the internet, you will learn this. After this is over, this is going to become a marketing tool, right? So right now, guys, as we're speaking, you're watching this right now live. I'm doing millionaire mentoring all around the world right now in other areas. I'm teaching people how to recruit new reps in 6 to 45 minutes. I'm teaching people social media chat mastery using Twitter and Facebook. I'm teaching people how to clone themselves with Google Hangouts. I'm teaching them how to get viral distribution with press releases, to get their phone ringing with incoming phone calls. Right now, as we're doing this, I'm teaching all these cloned versions of me. Cloned versions of me are teaching all these other things and giving value away to the industry. So once you understand that, then it's just a matter of this, okay, well, are you stepping into a leadership role or are you not stepping into a leadership role? Because here's the 3 simple strategies to be looked upon like a leader. Number 1, you've got to learn a strategy. Doesn't matter what it is. You don't have to learn 50, just learn 1. Okay? Learn how to generate 5 new leads on Facebook. Learn how to, never get rejected in networking. Learn how to, what do you do when somebody says no? What are all these different things? You as a leader got to learn a strategy. Okay, number 1. Number 2, you've got to implement the strategy to collect some data. And number 3, you've got to share your results. Real simple formula: learn, implement, and share. So you've got to say to yourself now, okay, this week, if I look at my business, was I learning anything? Right? Now, if you were learning but you didn't implement anything to collect some data, then you've got nothing to report to an audience of people, right? But if you learned something and you implement it and you shared your data, you can use your social media account on Facebook, you can use your Twitter account, you can send an email out to your list with the results, and now you're going to bring them all together to show them how to do it, right? Pretty cool, okay? So you've got your warm market, right? And now you've got your social media market. Now, how do you approach your social media market? Here's what I do. I just want to find out what's happening in their life and listen, similar to warm market. So I'm going to say, hey Tom, how's it going? How's your day going so far? Okay, it happens a lot faster on social media. Okay, I don't have to do as much pitter-patter back and forth. So I want to find out what's happening in his world. He's going to say, pretty good, Darren. How about yourself? Now on social media, here's the secret. What I'm going to do now is to be vulnerable. Okay, now I'm going to talk about my real life. What's really going on? Like today, at a cool thing, I went to Chilliwack, and I went out on these really awesome ATVs, and right on the bank, and we went right up into the snow area, and I took a bunch of pictures, and with the ATV units, and amazing view overlooking all of the valley, right? So what I would do is I would talk about my day-to-day, and I might even send that person one or even two really cool pictures of stuff that I did. That's called vulnerability, okay? Now, when you do that, guys, here's the interesting thing that happens. People are mirrors, okay? So if I'm talking about my life, personal stuff, guys, right? If I send you a picture with my close friends, or I send you a picture that has us on these cool ATVs in the water and stuff, right? You're going to tell me about your real life, right? No sugarcoating, right? So people say, Darren, how can you recruit new reps in 6 to 45 minutes? This is how, guys. This is how it's done, right? So I want to find out what's happening in your life and listen. You're going to say, what about you? Vulnerability, okay? Vulnerability. So I'm going to share what's really going on in my life. Like my son came in town for holidays at Christmas, and he's coming back at the beginning of April for 6 days, and I'm really getting excited, right? Those are the types of things. If you share your personal life with people, they start to open up too, right? So they don't give you the sugar-coated version. They really give you the story that their home's going into foreclosure. They really tell you their personal problems, right? So if I find out, as an example, I look at your profile and I find out that you're a realtor, right? And I say, how long have you been in real estate? And you say 10 years. I say, is it your passion? Right now, a person is either on the path to their dream, or they're treading water, or they're sliding backwards. Okay, now if it's not your passion, I want to know what's your passion. What's your passion? Right, actually my passion's windsurfing. Well, why aren't you windsurfing 7 days a week? Well, I can't afford it. Well, how much money do you need to be windsurfing 7 days a week? A lot of people never get asked these questions, right? And when they do, it opens up their mind, and their mind starts to think about themselves windsurfing 7 days a week, right? Well, they need $10,000 a month to be able to windsurf, right? Well, if there was a way that you could actually be windsurfing 7 days a week and make more money than you're making right now, is that something that would interest you? They're either going to say yes or no, guys, right? And here's what I will tell you: in networking, you need to be married to the process and divorced from the outcome. No emotions. There's no emotions. So if they go, nah, it wouldn't interest me, I go, cool, what do you got planned for the weekend? It's very casual. Okay, networking is casual. It's not pitchy. I'm not trying to pitch anybody on anything. Okay, so that's going to be my social media circle. Now, in social media, here's what I'm going to tell you. You need to share your results. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to go live on this panel, and I'm going to show you some stuff so that you can really get an idea of what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's just go to my Facebook page really quickly. A couple things that I want for you guys to understand about social media. If you're not utilizing this top area for marketing, positioning you as a leader, you truly are missing the boat, okay, as far as social media goes. Because every time somebody clicks on your page, this is like having a billboard, and if it looks really professional, you instantly get positioned in the marketplace as a leader, okay? So what my brand is MLM Superhero. I teach people how to recruit new reps in 6 to 45 minutes. So instantly people can tell if they're in that type of a business that that's what I do. Okay, I teach speed recruiting, master recruiting with minimal effort, right? So this right here up here is very important, and if you're not utilizing that area, right, you really truly are missing the boat. This is called social proof. Okay, right here, social proof. So this is one of my students, Mark Andrew Cleat, is totally crushing it with 12 sales today. He actually did 14 today on complete autopilot. No more harassing friends and family, zero rejection, just pure positive cash flow. How are your strategies working for you? Want to get the inside scoop on completely automated income streams? Message me. Now, you'll notice there that I didn't put any link, I didn't put any phone number, I didn't put anything, because I actually want to have social interaction with the people, right? So here's the money. This is the money zone that starts to pop up, okay? These are people that are potentially people that are going to be new people. Dodie Johnson could be. Dodie Johnson is a senior executive. She's also a full-time network marketer now and a top leader, right? So you can see that she's following the campaign. Shane Butts is now, you can tell if he starts showing up more. Now keep in mind, I just posted that. If these people start showing up more, those are people that I call in the hopper. Okay, they're in the hopper. Now, those are people that are following the campaign and acknowledging that they're seeing it. So these, okay, now here's my ATV experience for today. So this part right here is really about adventure. Okay, so there's a specific formula that I use for social media that works very, very well for me. Now keep in mind, guys, this is the money zone right here. Now a lot of people don't contact these people. You need to be connecting, guys, connecting. Okay, you got to be able, this is a relationship business, a relationship connecting business. So keep that in mind. Every one of these people, I need to be saying, you know, hey, Brandy, how's it going? How's your day going so far? Hey, Michelle. Hey, Mark. Hey, Tom. Hey, Renee. Hey, Michael. Hey, Kusi. Hey, Laura. Hey, Michael. Hey, John. Hey, Bill. That's called building relationships. And people completely miss the boat when it comes to social media. Social media is like being in a gigantic lounge. So if you're in a lounge and all these people come and they want to talk to you or they want to correspond to you, and you turn around and go the opposite direction, they're probably going to go, oh, pff, what a snob you are, right? What's up, right? They want to just find out about your day. So you gotta be reaching out to these people. If you're a leader, you've got to be asking these people, how are they doing? How's their day going so far? And what can you do as a leader to help, right? Well, do they have a problem? I don't know. Let's find out what's going on in their life right now. Are they in a peak or are they in a valley? Do they have any type of pain, emotional pain, financial pain? What's their pain factor, right? Well, I don't know. Let's find out, right? And most people won't tell you unless you can break the ice, unless you can get them to laugh, and they get a connection where you find things in common and you get that connection. Remember, people do business with people that they know, like, and trust, and people that they're either like or they aspire to be like. So this strategy, guys, I'm telling you, what this did for me is this actually has generated almost $400,000 on just social media from connecting with people. Okay, so here's now more of the hot zone. We've got Linda Chong, Victoria Sonde. Look, there's Michael Burns again, Nikki Price, Chad Turner, Brandy Hicks, right? Oh, look, Dodie Johnson just showed up again, right? So you can tell by who starts to follow these posts, right? You can start to tell about your reach. Who are you connecting with? Now, here's what I will tell you as well. This is what I would call a controversial post. Now, these get a lot of interaction, guys, okay? I already know it's controversial before I post it. That's part of the marketing strategy. So it says women wear a dress like this to get attention. Then they get pissed off at the people that are looking at the very thing that they want them to look at. LOL, sort of an oxymoron, really. If you don't want people staring at your breasts, then put clothes on them. Okay, and I know that this is going to get a significant amount of interaction. Okay, now look at the amount of interaction here, guys, compared to the other ones. Okay, this is 69, 70, 71, 72. 72 people hit the like button, and there's 41, 2, 3, There's 44 people that commented. Now, keep in mind, every time somebody comments or hits the like button, all these people, all the way down the line, are going to get a little notification down here to let people know that there's been activity on this thread. So all these people saw my brand over 100 times. Okay, so there's 70 some odd here, plus 40 some odd contacts, and those people have been notified every single time that there was some interaction. Okay, now this is basically kind of like what I would call trivia, and trivia / entertainment. And it's some bowling balls that are on these chains, and you can see what happens when they let them go. And they have this really, it's bizarre to watch this. It's really, really wild. But that's like entertainment. And these ones right here, I can tell you, will give you a significant amount of followers and friends, because they just come back for more entertainment. This right here is a strategy that will position you as a top leader in the industry. And because you don't look like everybody else, you're not just another Joe, okay? Now here's how this strategy works. This right here is my head, but the rest of it is all stock photography. Okay, now I've got a designer in India that I can hook you up with so that you can do these same type of things too. And I highly recommend it, that if you want to be branded and positioned as a leader, that you do these type of things, guys, okay? Because it will totally position you above the rest of the people so that you're not just another affiliate or another distributor, okay? You want to be able to stand out above the rest of the people. You want to be able to get yourself noticed by being unique and different. Okay. This is what I would call leader edification. Okay, these are two top leaders in my company. They're not even on my personal team, but it's important as a leader that you recognize people for their accomplishments. It doesn't matter whether or not they're in your group. It doesn't matter whether or not they're on your team or not. That's what leaders do, guys. So you want to start to pay attention to who's on the leaderboards, right? Who should you be connecting with? Because those are the people that are going to provide the most amount of value, right, to the group, right? The most amount of value to the industry. And those are the people that you really want to get connected with. This is another controversial post, okay? And this was a spin-off that was done with this thing that went viral about the color of the dress. Was it black and blue, or was it white and gold, right? And it was all over the internet, all over social media. So this one said, nobody seems to care what color it is, pick any color, right? But look at the amount of interaction. 50, 51, 52, 53, right? 53 likes, and there was 31, 2, 3, 4, 35 people commented on it, right? So I already know that it's going to get interaction. Now, this particular one is specifically about the industry, okay? And it's about me being laser focused on my path and being bulletproof. Now, when you write a post like this, guys, and you were totally tapped into your personal power, this is what happens. Look at this. 72, 73, 74, 75 people hit the like, and there was about 16 comments that came through. This is being bulletproof right here. Okay, it says, on Monday I got a call from somebody looking to roll out a travel company, and they wanted someone to do all their calls, their hangouts daily, and offered me premium position in the company, lead flow, and a guarantee, a monthly guarantee, if I would do the job. I said, thanks, but no thanks, I'm already on my path. On Thursday, I got a call from someone offering me positioning and a guaranteed base, that's like a base salary, if I would join their coffee company as they expand globally. I said, thanks, but no thanks, I'm already on my path. What about a corporate position, Darren Little? A paid salary just to do the training. I said, thanks, but no thanks, I'm already on my path. I started a business online so that I could work from anywhere in the world and leverage the power of the internet and clone myself. That's what I teach people how to do, guys. And if you follow these strategies that I'm talking about, you can completely transform your life. But you got to start putting out content. Okay, this is content. Okay, this is content. Now, I can also put content out on a video. This is content right now that we're doing right now about the, hold on a sec. Okay, just seeing if you guys can still see that. This is content right now as we're doing the Google Hangout. This is going to turn into content. I'm going to show you as well why it's so important that you should be thinking about doing your blog. If you have not done a blog, that is your central hub, right? Your central hub where you can talk about information about being a leader, okay? And I'll tell you guys, if you really want to take your business to another level, your blog really should be where you're going to put key information that you can send to people to give them value. And I'm going to show you that in a quick second here. Okay, so what else do we got? This was another industry-related post. It was specifically about setting realistic expectations when you start your business and the type of things that people say. Here's a guy right now. He's making $2 grand a month. He's willing to invest an hour a day. He only has a $100 budget, but he wants to make $10,000 income per month to start. He says to start, but he's working like 40 to 60 hours per week for $2 grand a month. Really, right? That's called totally unrealistic expectations right there, right? No budget, hardly any time, but he wants to make 10 grand a month, right? Okay. This is another leader edification, right? Tracy Walker is an amazing individual. If you're not following Tracy Walker, you should be, because she puts out phenomenal content. She's already made over $1 million just with this particular program. But great, great value, great content. Recommend that you follow her. Okay, so we could go over this stuff, but I want to get back here onto just showing you something really quickly here about the blog strategy, and then we're going to talk a little bit about paid traffic. Guys, this is, when you're coming out with your blog content, we get back to, if you're not passionate about your topic, then you probably won't blog about it with passion, and you won't lasso your audience from the heart, okay? And if you're just coming on, if you could just mute out your line, that would be great. If you're just coming on here, can you please mute out your line, or somebody that's on the panel there, can you please mute out that new person that just came on? Okay, so I want to just focus on this particular blog post, guys, because this is what I was talking about earlier about being vulnerable. Talking about your real life, okay? Now, this particular blog post was about my son, okay? Spending more quality time with my son taught me this, okay? So here's my son right here. His name is Drayson. He's 15 years old. He goes to school in San Diego. And, we spent about 6 weeks together over the summer, and then he came for Christmas for a couple weeks, and now he's coming back for spring break. And every time he comes here, I take him to the exotic car dealerships, okay? And there's a specific reason for it, because I want to teach him about quantum physics and about how we can create whatever reality that we want. Okay, so it says, spending more quality time with my son taught me this. Repetition is the mother of all learning. When we hear things repeated over and over, they become part of our subconscious mind, and that's where the learning really begins, okay? This is a really powerful lesson, guys, right here, because your subconscious mind is way more powerful than your conscious mind, okay? The conscious mind is like a little tiny golf ball on BC Place Stadium, and your conscious mind is what's going to direct your success or your failure, okay? Now, when I take him to these dealerships, we might spend 3 or 4 hours, guys, going around to the Lamborghini dealership. Right, here we are right here at the Aston Martin dealership, right? A couple of different Aston Martins. Here we are at the Bentley dealership, right? A couple different Bentleys that we went through, right? Here we are at the McLaren dealership, right? Here we are back at the Lamborghini dealership. So this is like, you know, not just like a 5 or 10 minute outing. This might be half of a day, right? Where we go out, we spend some time, we might spend half an hour or 45 minutes at each different one of these locations, right? And there's a significant thing that happens. It's called energy transference that takes place. A lot of people don't realize that these, you know, $500,000 car holds a certain vibration, a certain resonance with it. And if you sit in that car, that resonance will transfer over to you, into your body, into your physiology, and when you leave it, you will be in a higher broadcast to manifest what you want. Now, here's what's really cool. This is quite a long post, guys. You can see here how long this post is. So it talks about the story, talks about, you know, do you remember when you were a kid? Do you remember statements like this? You know, here it was on this Friday. I had these flashbacks, blah, blah, blah. Here's my story about my son. My son's name is Drayson. Here's why I do this. Here's the dealerships that we went to, right? Here's the story. Here was the lesson. Here's where it stems from the wave particle theory. There's other information here that can help people to completely and totally transform their life. Just this one blog post. Okay, literally, somebody could read this blog post, implement it to their life, and completely transform their reality. Now, that's what happened, guys, because Mark Cleat read this blog post. He went to a BMW dealership. He sat in a 750 series car, right, after reading this blog post. And then what happened is something phenomenal. About 24 hours later, he had his best day in his law firm that he has had in years. He was so blown away with what happened that he came on board working at, you can see here on the panel. Guys, do you realize that today alone, just today, completely automated, Mark had 14 new members come on board his team. Now, this information is so incredibly powerful to change your life. Now, in here, I talk about why your subconscious mind, guys, your subconscious mind is actually keeping you broke. And there is a ridiculous amount of value to explain exactly how it works, why it works, and the actual strategies to get you to be free from your subconscious mind. And it explains it in detail, right? It talks about the human condition. It talks about how you've been pre-programmed to, literally your human brain has been programmed to self-destruct. And it gives you the gateway, and it talks about the solution to your problem. Okay, so I want for you to really understand that these blog posts that you come up with, you want to be providing value. Value. That's the key, guys. Here's a part. This was a 2-part series, and this is another way that you can put out content and take it to a certain point and then kind of leave people hanging on the edge of their seat. They're going to have to come back for more in order to get the next part, which was this: why your subconscious mind is keeping you broke, part 2. Right? Now, what I did here was I actually linked these 2 stories together. So this says, well, welcome back to part 2 of why your subconscious mind is keeping you broke. If you haven't had a chance to read part 1, I highly recommend to go here right now and to read that post first before continuing on further. So if somebody comes to this post first, they're going to be sent back to the other post to read it and then come back to this post, because once they read this one and they go down to the very bottom, guess what happens? Look what happens at the very bottom here. Tune in tomorrow on day 3 of the 21-day blogging challenge for part 2 of why your subconscious mind is keeping you broke. So they're going to read through that whole thing and then click over to here, right, to come back to read the balance. Now, here's another thing that I do as people start to comment. Okay, now this particular post right here as well, it gives a huge amount of value to the people. So what I do a lot of times is when I answer a post, I will say, you know, hey, you'll get a lot of value if you go here. Like check out this post on 7 Deadly Sins of Recruiting. Thanks for stopping by, right? So what my goal here is that I want to connect with these people. Now, isn't this interesting, guys? Okay, so Rick comes to my blog and he reads it. Okay, so he says, "Wow, Darren, this is great. This stuff is great. Looking forward to exploring all the different tools and teaching that you have put together here. I see why you're always at the top of the leaderboard of your company. Looks like you've got this manifestation thing down to a science that help you achieve greatness. Thank you so much for sharing this. I just look forward to making this a part of the self-development that I need to live a more abundant and fulfilling life. Best regards, Rick." Okay. So what do? I want to connect with Rick, right? So I say there's a specific strategy that I teach my leaders. Some have gone from completely homeless to 6 months later they have a $20,000 month. Once you learn how to apply the specific strategies I teach, you can create whatever reality you want for you and your family. Now I'm going to send them to more content. You see how that works, guys? Check out this post on the 7 Deadly Sins of Recruiting. Thanks for stopping by. Guess what magically happened? Rick joined my business, right? He just clicked the link, he signed up, and he sent me a message today saying that he went silver in the program. So this is why I always say to people why it's so important, guys. So important. You've got to, what I call, speak to the listening. Now, what does that mean, speaking to the listening? That means that there's people in the industry that have specific problems, okay? Now, you as a leader want to say, okay, well, what problems am I having in my business? Okay, so look at some of these topics. Okay, spending more quality time with my son taught me this. Now, if somebody's got kids, don't they want to spend more quality time with their kids, right? So that right now I know is speaking to the listening, right? 7 Deadly Sins of Recruiting. If you are a recruiter and you read that and you see that picture, it's going to you're going to click it just out of curiosity, right? And I open up the vault. I really tell people the truth about what they need to do to become successful. No sugarcoating here, guys. No hype, no get in now, no lock your spot. I can literally take anybody, doesn't matter how much experience that they've had, I don't care if they're completely homeless, okay, and I can teach them these principles right here, and within a 3 to 6 month period of time, they can be free, okay, they can have a life of freedom. Is there going to be work? Absolutely there's going to be work. There's no free ride. There's no, you're going to have to roll up your sleeves and become a leader, bottom line. That's the bottom line of the industry. And there's no point in me, sugarcoating it and telling you it's going to be so easy and this, that, and the other thing, because you're going to have to face your fears, okay? Number one, you have to face your fears. Number two, you've got to surrender your ego. And that's the biggest challenge that most people have, is to surrender their pride and their ego, right? And to realize that if they want to go to the next level, that's the gateway. That's the gateway, and they've got to be coachable. So I say, okay, here's what I need you to do, guys. I need you to go through Unstoppable Vision and figure out why you want success. What's your driving force? Why do you want it? Right? A lot of people say, well, Darren, I really want to get a new house. Well, why? Right? Well, what's wrong with your house that you have? So you've got to get very clear on that, and then you've got to know how much it costs. If you don't know how much this stuff costs, forget about it. It will never, ever, ever happen for you. Okay, so what are some of the other topics? The untold lies, the dark side of network marketing. I already know that if people are network marketers, they're going to click that because it's speaking to the listening, right? Very key. How to generate an avalanche of leads for your home-based business while you sleep, right? Once again, I'm speaking to the listening. The psychology of selling, 9 easy ways to get people to buy anything. So, if you look at the titles, guys, this is what I'm talking about speaking to the listening. speaking to your target market, right? Very, very critical. Now, I can tell you that on these blog posts, what I plan on doing this week, okay, is I'm going to put a banner over here on the side, and that banner is going to give away something free. I'm probably going to give away a copy of an ebook, or I may give away a value-based webinar. It may be about how to develop a $9,000 day mindset. It may be a webinar on how to go from 0 to 10,000 a month in 30 to 90 days. But right here, right where that little line is, I want something that's going to have shock and awe value, and it's going to lure you in to, I want your email right here. Okay, I want to get your email address so that I can build a relationship with you. So guys, if you are not connecting with your prospects, forget about it, right? Forget about it. Honestly, if you are not providing value as a leader, then don't expect to get paid a leadership wage. No different than real life. No different than having a business. No different than being a CEO. No different than being in a sales organization. If you don't provide more value to the company and bring in more sales to the company, you don't get a raise. Now, how's that any different than conventional business? It's exactly the same. So here's what I will tell you. The faster that you can get to doing a broadcast, the faster that you can get to going on and doing a Google Hangout, whether somebody's here or not, it does not matter, okay? But the faster that you can make that happen for you, the faster you're going to make 10 grand a month. Okay, so if I go here to, this is something that I put together for the whole team so that you can give away value. Okay, so I did a seminar here, guys, about how to connect with prospects. Okay, and it talks really about, now here's me really doing the stuff that I talk about. So here I am right here. I'm in a restaurant, right? It's called the Night and Day Restaurant, and I am just, you know, giving value to the world. Do you see anybody down here? No, it's just me, right? I'm talking to my screen, and I'm giving away value to the people, right, that are going to watch it, right? Now let's see what happened here. I want to see. I don't even know. Okay, look at this. There's 2,634 people have watched that one piece of content. 2,634 people. That's why I say to people to give away your value, your best value. Give it away. You will have tons and tons of people that start to recommend your content. So these are people that I want to obviously connect with, right? They've already watched my brand. They've already watched me give value. This is the money, guys. Literally. This is the money right here. This is like the low-hanging fruit for me just to reach out to these people and find out what's happening in their life and what can I do as a leader to help them solve their problem. Well, what's their problem? I don't know. Let's find out, right? Are they working a company right now, right? How long have they been in? Are they part-time? Are they full-time? How big is their team? What do they have for a monthly marketing and advertising budget? Because if they don't have a budget, they're not going global. Bottom line, if they don't have a marketing and advertising budget, so where would your company be if you were spending $2,000 to $3,000 every single month, like clockwork, to roll out your business? Think about that. So let's say that right now you had a budget of $3,000. And it didn't matter what was going on because you knew that you were going to build a list of prospects and build a relationship with those people, okay? But let's say that right now you had $3,000 that you were putting monthly into your business. How fast do you think it would grow? Think about it. How fast would it grow? So if you learn a strategy, what you're learning a bunch of strategies right now tonight, and then you implement some of the strategies and you get a little bit of data, now you do a little broadcast and you lasso an audience and you start to build rapport with those people. So let's say that you're just on my team right now. If you just started, you could actually go to darrenlittle.com/connecting and then /? ID equals your username, and this button right here will turn into your enrollment page. Okay, this button right here, work with me now, will actually enroll somebody onto your team. So in the beginning, I say to my students, leverage off of this because it's already done, right? But keep in the back of your mind, if you really want to go global, guys, and you really want to take yourself and your leadership to another level, you really want to do the same thing I did. I mean, I can set you up with my designer. I can show you the exact strategy that I used. I mean, anybody can do a Google Hangout. I mean, I don't know how this whole page came together from a technical standpoint. I don't need to know. That's the Henry Ford model, right? That's how I roll out companies and I raise money. I'm not the CEO, I'm not the CFO, I'm not the COO. I handle the marketing section of anything that I do, right? The rest of the stuff is kind of like it's me getting partners, right? That take on certain positions in those companies that can handle their expertise. That's the Henry Ford model. So you can do the exact same thing as what I've got going on here in my business, but just start out. There's darrenlittle.com/connecting. There's darrenlittle.com/unstoppable. There's darrenlittle.com/reps in 6 to 45 for how to recruit new reps in 6 to 45 minutes. So there's the ability to give people value when you're connecting with them on social media, right? So that's another key factor. Now, in the event that you are doing paid marketing, okay, so let's go over now. I want to just show you this really quickly because I want for you guys to get an idea of some of this data here. Okay, so right now this shows that my list is at 10,397 people. 72 new subscribers came in today, 8 subscribers yesterday, and out of the total list, 16 people unsubscribed. Okay, so that's okay because I know that these people are not buyers, especially when I offer one-on-one millionaire mentoring tonight and give them the ability to be able to come and get all their questions answered, right? But they're not interested. They're opting out, right? So that gives you a clear indicator that they're just not qualified, or they just haven't really truly been serious, or they were just kind of, tire kicking, right? Going around and not really looking for stuff. Now, if you look at the total here, you'll notice that the list has been as high as 16,000, right? But it's had 5,900 people have opted out over time, right? So just to give you an idea that's, this is just data. That don't get upset about this right here. Don't get upset if people start opting out of your list. It's no big deal, okay? Now, typically when I'm doing these type of broadcasts and I send this out, I want you to just get an idea of what this looks like. Okay, so what did I do here? I did what's called piggyback marketing. So I piggybacked off of Richard Branson, and it was one-on-one millionaire mentoring tonight at 7 p.m. PST. Tonight at 7 p.m. PST, I'll be doing one-on-one millionaire mentoring for a panel of 9 people, and you could be one of them. So this has a link that goes directly to this webinar. If you get there early, you can speak with me personally, ask questions, and be on the panel. If it's full when you get there, you can still go here to watch, and that goes directly to YouTube. People that go through these sessions typically experience major breakthroughs. You will hear personal stories from a number of my students, overcoming fears, defying all odds, from newbies to having $3,000 days. One new student, 12 sales today alone, and then Mark actually made that, I think, 14. Our strategies totally eliminate rejection. No calling your friends and family. This is truly an automated income stream we're seeing. Go here to be on the panel. Go here if it's full. See you tonight. Okay? And then I say one more time, if you get there and it's packed, you can still click the link below to watch one-on-one millionaire mentoring. Click here. Okay? So that just gives you an idea of that would be an invite that I would send out to a particular event like today, okay? So let's take a look at some of these other ones, what's going on here. Okay, so we've got OMG, did you see this? Let's see what it was. This got 48 people to click, so about 10% of the people actually clicked. This was a Millionaire Mentoring replay. This is where I gave away a huge amount of value, guys, on exactly what I did to go from 0 to $50,000 within a 95 days, something like that, right? And I gave away a huge amount of value on this particular earn 25K per month on about maybe a week ago or less than a week ago. Like I completely opened the vault. I taught people everything that I do and how I started a business from a flat start, and the first month made 10 grand, and then it went into liftoff going into month 2, and I broke it down step by step. Okay, so what I want to do here as well, guys, for people that are just seeing this for the very first time, I want to log in here to iPass just so that you can really get an idea of what this program is. What exactly is it? We educate people and we teach them, why do people fail with network marketing and online marketing? What's the problem? Where do people keep on bumping into the walls? Okay, so if I go into the Marketing Center and I click in to see the actual marketing funnels, this is like having the exact stuff that's been done by 7-figure and multiple 7-figure income earners that you get to piggyback off of, right? That means that you don't have to do the copywriting, you don't have to do the videos, you don't have to make it all work. You can just piggyback off of them. So here's an example. So I click on this, and I can send people either directly to a sales page, directly to a pre-sale page, directly to a checkout page, or to a lead capture page, and they're going to give me 2 options. So let's say that I want to maybe send them to this one. So let's take a look at what that looks like. Okay, so this would be a lead capture page that I would have my blog go to, I would have my Facebook post go to, I would have my Twitter campaign go to, right? So this would be one option, right? And then once people go through that, I can decide whether or not I want them to go into this or to this. Let's take a look. So let's say that I want them to go into this. This is a pre-done page.
Hey, right? My name's Adam Whiting, and congratulations on making it to the inside. Now, you probably don't know me yet, so before I show you how to start making money today, I just want to tell you a little bit about myself so that you know that I'm a real person.
Okay, so you can see that the graphics are great, the videos are phenomenal, the voiceovers are great. It's already done, guys. That's what allows us to be making money so fast coming right out of the gate, because all the hard work, all the heavy lifting has already been done for you. The only thing that you've got to do is just to get qualified buyers to a page. You can either buy those qualified buyers and send them to a page, or you can use a number of different marketing strategies to get them to the page. Remember the key. What's the key? Speaking to the listening. Speaking to the listening. So, you know, this is great because all the stuff is pre-done for you, and there's literally like step-by-step instructions that really give you the power of leverage, leveraging off those 7-figure income earners. Okay, so let's go back live here. Okay. Okay, so Helen, any questions? Helen, you're muted.
No.
No questions. Okay. Annalisa, any questions at all? Can you unmute?
No questions. I just want to say thanks for sharing that you don't have to really pitch.
Absolutely. You know, that's the key that I will tell you about this industry, Annalisa, is that, you know, networking is connecting with people to find out, are they in what's called a peak or are they in a valley? Okay, which are they? Right? Now, I don't have to say, hey, check out my deal, right? Because you might not be a qualified person if you're not in a peak or a valley, right, for me to know, right? So if you're in a peak, what am I going to do? I'm going to go through you to your contacts, and now I'm going to let you possibly requalify yourself. If you're in a valley, right, I don't even know if there's a fit here. I mean, I don't even know if you'd be qualified. I take it away, right? It's like, well, what exactly is it, right? So now I'm pulling you this way, and I'm letting the video do the work, not me. I'm not the one that's going to be explaining my business. Just so you know, in networking, something or someone other than you is going to talk about your business. Critical that you know that in networking, guys. Okay, your only goal is to do this, pique the curiosity, and get out of the way.
Yeah, I like that because that's what got me in is not the pitching, but it got me curious because I wanted something else, and I get burnt from getting pitched all the time, and it turns me off. So I wouldn't do that to other people. I'm more of a connector versus
Perfect.
pitching.
Awesome.
I'm not really good at pitching either anyway, so
Fantastic.
thanks for sharing.
Okay, Tunde.
Yes, Darren.
Okay. Any questions, comments?
I mean, basically, I mean, your training, every time I listen to your training, it just amazes me. And I just look forward to continuing to implement this thing that you are teaching us because part of it is actually learning and being able to implement these things that you're teaching us. So, I look forward to getting better, every single day as I connect with people. And I'm pretty sure everything will be fine from that point. The better I get at connecting with people, the better it will be for my business.
Okay. So let me ask you this, Tunde. Can you
Yeah.
see now how by being the leader and providing content and solutions to people's problems that it's a lot easier to get your phone ringing with incoming calls, right? Am I right? Am I right? Okay, exactly. So here's what I'm going to tell you guys about this. This is critical that you know this. If you are speaking to a person's pain, right, and providing a solution to their problem, right, you've got incoming calls now, right? You speak to their pain, right? You speak to their problem, and you provide a solution to that problem. Guess what? Your phone starts ringing, right? And people watch a piece of your content, and guess what? Now they're following your videos. Now they're plugging into your team without yet being on your team, right? Here's the cool thing. I've had people that have called me and said, Darren, do you realize I spent the entire weekend with you? And I go, are you for real? They go, I've been watching your videos and your Millionaire Mentoring the entire weekend, back to back, right? That's what happens. So when you lasso that market and you pull them in, right, by doing what? Providing value, solving people's problems, right? Giving them solutions to their problems. They all of a sudden say, well, heck, I mean, if that person is giving me that content for free, what would happen if I was working directly with them as a mentor, right? Now that's next level. That's where you go, wham, up to the next level. That's where people start a business. Chad Turner has already had two $3,000 days. He's a brand new newbie in his first 60 days, guys. The 2 months, 60 days, two $3,000 days. A brand new guy. Okay, that's what can happen when you're working directly with a millionaire mentor. Mark, did you get your technology fixed there? Can you unmute? No, still can't unmute. Okay. Okay, so guys, thanks a lot for joining us on this exclusive and private VIP Millionaire Mentoring session. Guys, if you're working directly with our team, We do these on a regular basis. There's no secrets here, guys. I share everything, every single thing that I do, every strategy, every technique, how to get to a millionaire mindset, how to break through your fears, how to go from 0 to 10,000 in 30 to 90 days. Okay, we've done it multiple times and showed other people how to do it as well. Okay, what would you say if I was to tell you that my best student, their very first month, made $7,500, and the second month made $11,500. Why? Because they were coachable. Remember, you got to surrender your ego and your pride, right, and be coachable, right? Follow the simple steps. So, guys, you've got Darren Little here from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, with the MLM Superheroes. Thanks a lot for joining us here. I look forward to meeting you in person one day, and I look forward to seeing you at the top. Bye for now.